Aliens failed to use natural materials. Human shelter straight from the forest. I am Relthar of the Ziril Academy, chosen among the brightest to partake in the trial of survival. Each year, cadets from across the galaxy are abandoned on a harsh world with nothing but their wits. No technology, no weapons, only what the planet itself provides. It is a test of intellect and adaptability. Few excel. Many fail. This year, for the first time, humans joined us. We laughed. Deathworlders, yes, but primitive. Surely their survival was chance, not skill. We Ziril prided ourselves on reason, on cleverness. We believed humans would falter without their machines. We were wrong. 1. The trial begins. They dropped us into the forests of Varnis Prime, a world of jagged peaks, freezing nights, and predators that prowled the undergrowth. I landed with 3 companions, each chosen from a different species. We scouted, we searched, but the forest mocked us. Vines too brittle to bind, bark too tough to carve, leaves that wilted to dust when plucked. We attempted a shelter. It collapsed within hours. The cold set in. By nightfall, my companions shivered, and I cursed the council for designing such a cruel test. The human, though, he worked. 2. The human method. His name was Mason. Broad shoulders, scarred hands, eyes that seemed to measure everything. Where we despaired, he studied. Where we fumbled, he tried, failed, and tried again. He vanished into the forest with only a shard of stone. Hours later, he returned with vines twisted into rope, branches stripped of bark, leaves woven together. He didn't speak much. He just built. By sunset, he had erected a frame of poles lashed tight, a roof of woven branches, walls lined with moss for insulation. Smoke curled from a small fire pit he had dug with his hands. We stood in stunned silence. In one day, Mason had carved a shelter out of nothing but the forest. We Ziril, masters of theory, had nothing but splinters and failure. 3. The first night. The cold deepened. Winds howled. My companions curled inside Mason's shelter, warmth radiating from the fire. I lay awake, listening to the predators circle, their growls in the dark. The humans sat by the flames, calmly feeding wood into the fire. And smiling. When I asked how he had done it, he shrugged. Grew up camping in worse. Camping. As if this ordeal was recreation. 4. The struggle. The next days grew harder. Food was scarce. The streams were treacherous, filled with parasites. My companions weakened, but Mason adapted again. He fashioned snares from vines, spears from sharpened stone. He showed us which roots were edible, which berries would kill, which leaves could purify water if boiled. Everything the forest threw at us, he turned into a tool. Every failure was only another lesson. We, the brightest cadets of the galaxy, followed in his shadow like hatchlings. 5. The predator. On the 5th night, the true test came. A beast the size of a hovercraft prowled into camp, fur bristling, fangs glinting, eyes fixed on us. My companions froze. I reached for a rock, useless against such a monster. Mason did not freeze. He stood slowly, firelight flickering across his face. He raised his spear, steady as stone, and shouted loud, fierce, defiant. The beast hesitated. Perhaps it saw in him not prey, but rival. Perhaps it felt the confidence in his stance. With a final growl, it retreated into the dark. We exhaled as one, trembling. Mason only sat back down, feeding the fire. Animals are the same everywhere, he muttered. Show them you're not easy food. 6. The Council's judgment. When the trial ended, rescue ships descended. Cadets emerged gaunt, frostbitten, broken. Most had failed to build shelter. Many had nearly died. But we lived. Not because of our brilliance, but because of Mason. The council examined our shelter, our traps, our fire pit. They whispered among themselves, astonished. The Ziril masters asked Mason where he had learned these skills. He shrugged again. My grandfather taught me. We used to go camping. To them, it was incomprehensible. To him, it was ordinary. 7. Reflection. I returned to the academy humbled. We, who believed ourselves masters of logic, could not weave a roof. The human, who called it camping, carved survival out of the wilderness as easily as breathing. We thought humans fragile. We thought their strength lay only in war. But now I know their true gift. They are not merely fighters. They are survivors. They can turn forest to fortress, disaster to triumph, death to life. And as long as they stand among the stars, the galaxy itself will never be rid of them. Because where others fail, humans adapt. Where others despair, humans build. Where others die, humans endure.